everyone, I'm the Modern Sea Witch. Let's see. So today, I think I'm going to talk about the new moon. Do you practice a new moon ritual? I try to every new moon, every lunar cycle. I've found that if I have a few practices that I do regularly, it's helping me stay connected. I kind of let myself get away from that for a little bit. And I think I need to focus on making sure I'm doing those little rituals, so that I can maintain that connection that I want. Now, of course, everyone practices differently, but for me, I think it's important that I do that. I've noticed in the couple of months where I kind of wasn't being regular about having some little ritual, for new moon, dark moon, full moon. I was starting to feel a little lost. So I'm trying to focus on getting back to those to help me keep my footing. So I'm not doing anything elaborate. A lot of it still is intuitive. This one that I just did, in the middle of it, I was, I had my cauldron in front of me, and I was writing my intentions down and burning them in the cauldron, releasing, that energy out to the universe. And while I was doing it, I felt the urge that I also wanted to create an incense to match those intentions that I was working on for this next lunar cycle and what I want to manifest. So I grabbed my herbs and just, right into that cauldron. I went ahead and started putting in different herbs that worked for to help match those intentions that I want to manifest for this next lunar cycle. So I'm not rigid in my practice. That if I stray from that too much, if I try to make it super ceremonial, it just doesn't feel right for me. There are definitely elements of ceremony to my magic and to my practice, but I don't know if I'll ever be a purely ceremonial magician. I still like a little play here and there. Like I said, last night in the middle of doing my meditations over the things that were burning in the cauldron, it just felt that I needed to do that extra, something further to reinforce those intentions. So, don't be afraid to switch it up a little bit from something. Don't feel that if you come across someone else's spell work, that it has to be done that particular way. It's the way they did it. It might work for you. It might not. And with me trying to do all this reading right now, which I'm sure all of us are, tends to be something we like to do as witches, to learn, and a big part of that's going to be reading. I keep coming across other people's workings and techniques and want to try them and see how they are. see if they work for me. Some of them do. Some I don't resonate with, so I move on from there. But I try to keep that in mind, that I'm trying this out. You can see Hank back there in the background. Hank is getting comfy. It's something that I try to keep in mind is that if you do this working, whether it's just this ritual for it's new moon, so I like to try to manifest, set my intentions for the lunar cycle, and record them in some fashion, whether I write that down, whether I record a video, and go over those pieces to record it for my book of shadows. That way I can go back and see, okay, what did or didn't work from that particular working. Did this working not work? And was I not feeling a specific piece of it? So that my next time I can make adjustments and move forward and hopefully get a better result than maybe I got with that first working. So I'd love to hear from anyone. If you are listening, what are your rituals? What do you do to stay connected? Do you follow the lunar calendar? Do you follow the wheel of the year and the different Sabbats? Do you just have a daily ritual? How often do you practice? I try to have a little something every day. A little something. I may not always be able to, depending upon what my schedule looks like. Whether it's just coming in for a few minutes, light my altar candles. If I have a working going, lighting that one as well, and just taking maybe a couple minutes to center myself and connect. And then if I have to, I snuff those candles back out if it's only been a couple minutes, and move on with my day. At least I know I've done something to try to connect, to try and keep that connection going and make it, build it more into my life as a daily versus a once in a blue moon action. But I know not every day we can do that. Some days there's a lot more going on than our witchcraft practice. And I'm going to have a lot of those coming up with the wedding coming up soon. I still have a lot to get done. But, when I stop and think, what was it that how did I first start connecting? And a lot of it was through the lunar cycle. So I definitely want to make sure I am making the best effort that I can to honor those. Again, I may not make moon water every time. I didn't last night. I meant to, but I didn't. So that'll have to wait for the next new moon. But, I want to make sure that I am making that effort, even if it is only for a few minutes on that particular phase of the moon. Some days just, trying to look up and find it in the sky. I get a lot of cloud cover for some reason on the days I want to look. But still knowing it's there in the end. But yeah, just trying to make sure I keep that connection going. I feel a little better about myself, about what I'm doing when I do that. So I need to remind myself of that, to try to make that time. You know, same thing with exercise. I feel great after I've done it. It's just one of those things that gets pushed aside, pushed aside, pushed aside, and I don't get to it, but I need to make it a priority. Just like I need to make this a priority. So I'm really striving to be able to make that connection on those evenings. Whether I do spell work along with it or not, divination, usually divination. I do usually do a tarot spread, but I did not last night. I may do one today to reflect on and learn what's in store for me in this next cycle of the moon. So, share with me, if you're listening, what you like to do for the different lunar cycles, or the lunar phases during the cycles. Be sure to follow along on my blog on modernseawitch.com. I do have book reviews finally posted. I'm going to send out an email to the subscribers so that they know that they're there. And I am also going to work on getting those reviews in the video format as well, if that's the way you would prefer to see those. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.